Well, good afternoon, everybody out there in Chester County, Coatesville, and on my Facebook page. Doggone it. I'm telling you, we are coming to you live on this. What's this? A Tuesday afternoon? There's
Yes,
Linda
Tuesday
on a
afternoon.
Tuesday afternoon on City Town Talk, and I'm doing something totally different today. I'm going to try and fill up a little airspace so viewers can come on later on today and just talk about it. But look, it is a beautiful day in the neighborhood, man. God is amazing. He's allowed us to see one more doggone day. You know we ain't earned it. He just did it because he likes us so much. And I'm so grateful for that. Today, ladies and gentlemen, I got none other than Miss Linda Tyme on our show. So now, first of all, before I get started, Linda, how you doing today?
I'm doing well. Thank you. I'm excited to meet with you. You challenged me with all these questions. You know, I'm already in school and you gave me all these questions. So I'm excited.
You're in school right now.
Yes, I am.
Well, let's talk about that for a hot second. What school is this?
I go to Lancaster Bible College.
Wow. Now, how long have you been going there?
I just started, so I'm going for my PhD.
Well, now, okay, so PhD, you may have just started there, but you've been going to school for a minute now.
Yeah. So
let's talk about that other school.
For a long time, I got my master's in urban theological studies at it was called biblical, but now it's called Missio Seminary. And that was from 2014 to 2017. So, man, yeah.
Linda teaches CLD, Christian Life Development, right? I'm telling you, she's like almost the brightest bulb in the chandelier. She is doing what she do because, see, she be coming from like a hood level. She brings her videography.
I'm a round-the-way girl.
Straight from the urban. That's what she says. She says she's a round-the-way girl. Man, I love it. I love it all. But I really got an affinity towards the hood type thing.
Yes.
I can keep it real. And she teaches, and she just has no fraud stuff up in it. You know what I mean? That's why I like how you teach and preach. Not preach, but how you teach what you teach. There ain't no fraud stuff in it. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you ever want to be taught from a female perspective and a biblio perspective, come see Linda Tyme down there at New Life, and we're going to get you plugged in.
Yes.
Damn. What's your real job?
I'm an administrator at Temple University. That's where I'm at right now.
She done snuck off to do this program, man. God bless her soul. Also the mother of a gentleman named Zamir Brunson, is it?
Yes, it
is. Ziggy, who is one of the musical directors of New Life in Christ Fellowship's choir. And if you need to see this, can I call him a dude right now?
You can call him dude, yes.
You need to see this dude direct this choir and sing. He can sing. He's got all them ranges, from Luther all the way down to Barry White. So he got that range right. But when he directs the choir, he's got suspenders and belts on, takes his jacket off, he's jumping all around and bringing everybody in on time. I don't know how he does it, but bless his soul, he blesses everybody up in the church. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Now, before we get into this personality and this character that Linda's going to be portraying during the Martin Luther King Fest, I want to give a PSA. For those of you who've been sleeping under a rock, that means personal service announcement. Don't forget, MCDC is having their designer bag bingo. And Linda Tyme will be there, and she hopes she wins a big screen TV or some of them pocketbooks. We got about 7 different brands of pocketbooks too.
Nice.
K-Spade, Tory Burch, Michael Kors, Brahmin, some other people because I ain't got it from my face. This out. So we're doing that. Okay. And look, this weekend coming up from the 17th, I believe, to the 20th. Or is it the 18th? 20th? Anyway, this Friday all the way up to Monday, we're going to be celebrating the dreams and the aspirations of Martin Luther King. And it's a whole weekend of activities. And it's going to culminate and end on the Monday, the march from First Avenue. And we're going to reenact once again the march from the Edmund Pettus Bridge. I don't have no notes in front of me. I'm remembering all this stuff. I'm almost 75 years old. It's pretty good. So we got some dynamite gentlemen from Lincoln University. And for those of y'all, if you didn't see my show with this gentleman named Kyrie Black, 22 years old from Lincoln, y'all need to look it up. This brother is deep. Anyway, all this stuff is going to be happening. But special guest appearance is going to be Linda Tyme, and she's going to be portraying a young lady named Annie Lee Cooper.
Yes, Linda, that's my girl.
Who is Annie Lee Cooper? And tell us about her claim to fame.
Well, Annie Lee Cooper was a civil rights activist for voting. She is famous for a right hook to Sheriff Jim Clark's face for trying to push her, but she really was intentional in not taking no for an answer when it came down to wanting to vote. She voted in 2 states. She voted in Kentucky and Ohio, and then she went to Alabama to take care of her mother, and she went there to vote, and they just continued to give her a hard way to go. They kept denying her. They kept telling her that she was failing the test, and it was all just to try to make her not vote. And she just really, really was not giving up on that. And Fonz, what happened? You're off. Let me text you. There you go.
No, there I am. Every once in a while when I'm doing something new, I had some technical difficulties. But let me ask you a question. Do you know anything about her younger life prior to her being an activist?
Well, I learned I've been reading on her, and she moved to Kentucky at the age of 14 years old. Mm-hmm. And she lived there for a little while, and she had to come back to Alabama because that's where her mother resides. And her mother was sick. So she only came back to Alabama summer, where she originally was born. She only came back just to take care of her sick mother. And when she came back to take care of her sick mother, that's when she was already on the excitement to vote. She had the privilege of voting in Kentucky and in Ohio, but when she came to Alabama, they were giving her a hard way to go. So that's originally how that started.
Wow. Now, did she have a prominent role in the civil rights movement, or?
Definitely, because I think they heard about her and her courageous acts and what she did and how she was standing, that made Martin Luther King and the other group to want to listen. We have to get around our sister and let's just make this thing. This is a problem, because they knew that she went there and she was denied just because she was African American. She was denied just because she was a woman. She also was denied because she was knowledgeable. So they were giving her tests to try to throw her off, and she was passing all the tests, but they still were saying she was denied. So I think that really prompted us going into the Selma March. They needed some action, and that's what they did. Because of this courageous woman decided to not give up and not take no for an option. So that's it.
That is so cool. Now, you know what else? I think about how the women, they're the ones that said no in the beginning. I mean, now I'm not going to say in the beginning because I don't really know the total history, but not just Rosa Parks, but the woman prior to Rosa Parks that didn't want to get up on the bus. You know what I mean? She was the one that kind of like, she didn't spearhead the movement because they didn't think she was a proper person at that time. And they just spearheaded and focused more on Rosa Parks. But there's quite a few women that just wouldn't take no for an answer, man. And so women have played an integral part in the civil rights movement. And thank God. But you know how y'all women is.
Yeah, I know.
Especially black women. Who you talking to?
Yeah, I know.
No, what?
Yeah, I know.
I figured you go on and sit back there. But that is a blessing. That is so much of a blessing. Now, what led to her? Now, you talked about her throwing this hook on the sheriff. Yes. What led to the confrontation? How did this thing happen?
Well, so I remember they went down to the Dallas courthouse. I don't even know if it was Dallas. They went to a courthouse and they were all in line and they all were coming together because they were saying it's not fair that they can't vote because they have the freedom to vote. They have passed the test to vote, and they still were giving them a hard way to go. So you had this sheriff that was like all in the middle of it and acting hostile, hitting people with batons and all. And he turned around to Annie Lee Cooper, and she just probably did with her first instincts. She just jabbed him.
Wow. Was she played by Oprah Winfrey in the movie?
Yes, she definitely is played by Oprah Winfrey in the
I
movie.
loved it. Absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
So you're saying that action inspired others in
Exactly.
in the civil rights movement?
Exactly. Because when it happened, a lot of people gathered around like, listen, this is injustice. This is not right. This is inequality. So this is some things that we want to make sure that you hear us. All of us are standing here and we are more than able, more than willing, more than knowledgeable to vote. Allow us to exercise their vote. And of course, at that time, they weren't trying to hear that. So it was a big crowd, and I don't know if it got violent until there was violence going on because he was hitting people and going crazy. But when he turned around to her, that was it. He caught it.
So I wonder, what can we learn from a life like? Is Annie Lee Cooper still alive?
No, and guess what? She lived to be 100 years old.
Wow.
And her mother, guess how old her mother? Her mother lived to be 106 years old.
Get out of here.
Yes.
Wow. So what can we learn from a life like hers?
You know what?
Like today's age.
You know what we can learn, and this is a lot of times this is what people don't want to do. Nobody, yes, we need you to stand. We need you to show up, but we also need people, especially us women and African Americans in the community. We need you to be knowledgeable of what's going on. Stop allowing people to make decisions on your behalf, on behalf of your parents, on your grandparents, on behalf of your future and all. Like, we have to make sure that we are being involved. And if you can't be involved physically, at least you're being involved with being knowledgeable about what's going on. And with Annie Lee Cooper, she knew what was going on. She did this in Kentucky. She was able to vote. She was able to vote in Ohio. And she said, I'm going to also exercise this vote in Alabama since I'm staying here to take care of my mom. So these are the things she obviously already was doing her homework and knew what she wanted to do. She knew that she had the right to vote, but she would not allow them to take that from her. And sometimes that's what we have to do. We have to make sure that because of people like Annie Lee Cooper, she died and she went through so much pain and heartache for me to be able to be a woman as well, an African-American woman, and be able to go and vote and be intentional about things in my community.
So how do you think we as more knowledgeable people can help those who aren't knowledgeable understand the importance of just voting and all these things? How can we get them involved?
I think platforms like this, Fines, you on it. I always tell everybody in church, I'm like, listen, check out Fines. You on it. We need to be able to use our platforms. So if your platform is through social media, listen, exercise that. If your platform is through being involved in different town halls or going to different meetings and in the community at different, use it. Because you just be surprised that people sometimes, and I hate to say, people just don't know. So I'm going to just share it. And then it's up to them to take it and run with it. But you better believe I'm going to share it so that you know that this is what's needed and it's necessary.
That is good stuff. That is good stuff. Have you ever thought about being some sort of activist? Are you an activist where you are? Because now you are a Philly girl. Am I correct?
Yes. Born and raised.
Yes. Yeah, me too. So are you an activist?
I would say that. I know my son and my husband say it's happened since I've gotten worse. I think I want to say worse, but I've gotten a little more radical since all the elections and since me playing Annie Lee Cooper last year, because it just really, it's like I owe her that. You know what I mean? The legends that went before me, why can't I use my platform? Why can't I stand and share? And she was just like me, ordinary woman, just like me. So I am becoming a little activist, and and I'm trying not to be like Annie Lee Cooper and start socking people and get a little radical with it. But yeah, I try to just stay on top of it and be knowledgeable what's going on. And if I need to show up, I'm gonna show up.
That's good stuff. That's good stuff, because I think that's really like one of the most important things is showing up, being available, man. I just find that once we do that, man, God finds a way to use us. And or whatever it is that we don't know. He brings people that do know. He brings us knowledge. He brings us everything, man. He really, really, really does. So for those of you who are out there within the sound of our voices and you don't know when or how to start, just start where you are. Attend, take some suggestions and see what the Lord will bring and do in your life in regards to being socially active. Because for those of us who are Christians, that's part of the Christian walk. Is being socially active and giving voice to the voiceless. And things of that nature. Our job isn't done within the four walls of this church, man. So stop tripping. Anyway, so what else? What now? Yeah, you done got more radical. That's good. For those of you who are listening, Linda and my wife and I, we are pew partners when she comes to church on time.
That's right.
But she comes from a long way, so we had to give her some grace. But yes, we are pew partners, and we're looking forward to Saturday. Now, what did you get out of it last year, being amidst all those people in the sanctuary, Muslims, white folks, politicians, and just everybody celebrating for a single cause? How did that make you feel?
Oh my gosh, it was just so great because, like you said, a lot of times when you see things like this, everybody think that the context is basically just Christians. But I was in that church when we finished marching, and I was in the box with Muslims. I was in the box with Catholics. It was all different denominations, but we all were there for one cause and for one purpose. So that was just so inspiring. It wasn't never about any of our own personal agendas. The agenda was that we were representing the legends that paved the way for us to be able to stand and be together. I can't hear you.
I'm sorry. Now that you become more radical, what do you see in your future as far as activism? Is there anything that you intentionally would like to do? Because I'm sure you know where some of the shortcomings are, because I've heard you mention it just then about, giving out knowledge. Is there anything that you can see yourself intentionally planning to do in the near future? And if not, it's okay.
Well, no, you know what? I'm passionate about community and women, with ladies and girls. A lot of times, a lot of these young girls just don't know and haven't had anyone to just take the time and love on them and be intentional with them and really show them. So I'm into, wherever God calls me. But I am passionate when it comes down to women. When it comes down to women discipleship, that's why I love my book clubs that we do, because I just feel like I'm not just teaching my sister or being here. I am my sister. We all can relate to so many different things. And I just love that when we can come together, because we're in the society now where they like to put women where women are, it's news when women go against each other. So I'd rather for us to have the news where we just having each other backs. We're really showing up and we're listening to one another. So I'm really big on my book clubs and women discipleship. That's my thing. My husband thinks that I'm becoming this little feminist. I don't think so, though. I just really love women. And I just want to be there for each other.
Well, let's stay there for a minute. Book club. Let's talk about the book club and what it is that you do with women. What is the purpose of the book club?
So the book club is to bring outside tools that can draw us closer in community and with God. So the book clubs that I'm bringing, and I want them to be bigger. So that's been on my heart. The only reason why I have not expanded this big, because I'm in school right now. But I don't just want it to be Christians, Brother Fonz. You know what I mean? I love that. Last year when we were doing this Selma March last year, I was in that box with Muslims, all different denominations, all different cultures, all different walks of life, all different races. And that's my passion. But I want it to be for us women. And I just don't have, right now, I have the time for my New Life women, but I definitely want the New Life women. That was my my prayer and my call to them was to invite somebody from their family. And I'm not saying it had to be somebody from church, just the tools that we were learning in a book we just finished with. It would be great for anyone, any woman, whatever denomination or no denomination. But
what was the name of the book?
The book was called, oh my gosh. The Bait of Satan.
Okay, now you know this
will change your life.
Okay, now you know this is my show, so we can go any direction that we want to go. So now I got you, and let you go on your lunch break, and you got to go back.
Listen, I'm good. We good.
Let's talk about the Bait of Satan.
Oh my gosh, that book is amazing. You know what? That book shows you how long you've been walking around so offended. How long I just receive things offensive. The book helped me, and I was teaching with the young ladies that we have to be careful when we get into certain relationships, that I am not filtering the relationship, filtering my love through the offense, or am I going to filter through a pure heart? So a lot of times I'm filtering through an offense because I have not forgiven the past relationship. I'm still holding on to the other stuff. So this book was like a wide awakening about the bait that we continue to keep letting Satan do to us. We continue to allow him to trip us up on the same old traps, the same old baits, and it is not going to work anymore.
Man, I needed to have you on the full screen to hear that, man. You know you are right. You are.
Listen, that book is amazing.
That is good for the guys.
We finished reading it. We finished reading it in December, but now we're like, because it was so impactful, it was so powerful. So we have said we're going to do monthly just to follow up with each other, us ladies. And my class, Brother Fonz, was originally for 20 to 25 women. And when we closed in December, I had 38 women. Wow. So it was just amazing. The book was a blessing. I love it. I love it. And guess what I learned from I learned about this book? On a platform, what you're doing, on a post, on a on YouTube. It was what do you call it? It's another woman's platform, and she shared about this book. And I said, let me go look it up. And I went and read and looked up about the author, and I was like, this man. And I read it, and then I was like, I have to share this. Like I couldn't keep it because I was like, it's so long we'd be walking around offended and being offensive. That just robs us. I'm telling you.
Wow. So now, okay, you would like for this to grow and everything, but you're in school. So how long are you going to be in this PhD thing you're doing? How long is this dream going to be waiting until you finish that?
2028. But listen, I have breaks in between. Yeah. So I got a long summer break that I want to take advantage of and get rest. But this is my ministry. So even when I'm teaching and doing the book clubs, it never feels like I'm work. Like I was still doing it in my first semester because I needed that fellowship and I needed the word of God other than on Sundays. So I'm like, I know I'm studying and I'm in school, but like I needed, other than Bible study, other than Sunday morning service, like I needed that fellowship with women and for me to be able to be better and catch the devil with the baits. I'm tired of walking around being offensive and holding on to things.
Man, that is good. So, all right, now check this out. See, I don't care about who's viewing this right now because me and you talking because we got stuff to do. Check this out. I set up a page. I don't know if you've seen it, but I had all those different ministers doing a 10-minute sermon, bringing in the new year.
Oh yeah, I checked it out because my favorite professor, Dr. Anderson, was on there, right?
Yeah, that's my buddy. It's my Eagle friend and fan. I really appreciate it. So I created a page called New Year Inspirations. I want you to start going over there to that page and start putting stuff on there.
Okay.
That's what that page is for.
Okay.
For inspiration, healing, testimonies.
Oh, that's good. I didn't know that. So yeah, I can do that. That's good.
That's what I'm telling you right now. That's why I'm glad this is my show and I got you on because I can do and go wherever I want to go on this thing. That is number one. There's something else. Number two, I'm inviting you like I invite all my other guests because I trust in them so much that when you have things that you want to do, use my page to do it. I have no guidelines. I don't wait to approve what you post. I let people know what I expect and want. I just don't advertise parties at the bongo.
Okay.
But if your church is doing something or you're doing something impactful, it doesn't even have to be church. If it's something impactful, your business, something, my page is your canvas. Feel free to paint the picture that you want to portray to the community. That's what that page is for. That's what it's always been for. Franz Nusswein. So feel free to go over there. Now, before we close, is there anything that you would like to share to the viewers? Anything that's on your heart? Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, on the 20th, I want to say 18th to the 20th, or no.
Right.
Friday,
well, what's Friday? I will be at CYWA on Friday evening.
Well, you tell the people what's happening.
Yeah, so CYWA Friday evening, that is January the
17th, probably.
17th. Yes, January the 17th. I will be there 6 p.m. They're doing a recap from last year. A lot of Minister Robbie invited a lot of speakers from last year to come and share how it was, how this role impacted us throughout the year of 2024. So we'll be there, and then that's it. I don't know anything about anything on Saturday. You got something going on?
They're going to have the young men. They're going to have a health seminar on there. Then they're going to have these young people from Lincoln University and a couple of people from Coatesville Area School District. One of them is Corey Miller's son from New Life. And they're going to be talking about social ills, activism, and all that kind of stuff. Real bright group, man. So it's going to be totally impactful the whole weekend. I'm going to put the flyer up once again so everybody can see it. But before we go, is there anything that you would like to impart to the viewers? And we're going to show this again, flaws and all. So come on and talk to me.
Okay. I would say join us Monday for the march. That was just so powerful. Just following everyone and everyone just going about, understanding what our motive was and what we're doing and intention we're doing. So Monday, and I know schools is out, and that'll be great. Bundle up and come in March. From First Avenue to Fifth Avenue, right?
That's right. And we're going to have some food. Once we say food, a lot of us black folks, that means fried chicken and macaroni and cheese.
I had that last year. Yes.
I'm down with it. You can stereotype me. I ain't mad. That's what's going on, man. Look, we're getting ready to close this out. Linda, once again, it has been fantastic. If you want to hear more from this young lady, come on out on the 20th, because once she finishes shivering up, she's going to have a message along with so many others.
Yeah.
And forgive me for any flaws or hiccups in this broadcast, but it's all good.
Thank you.
Look, if nobody told you that they love you today, man, I certainly love you. Linda, you probably love me too. I want y'all all to have a great day. I'm going to see if I can put my theme song in here without it acting stupid. And then we're going to say goodbye.
Have a good one, y'all.
Well, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. My first pre-recorded interview. I'm going to check it out and see how bad I did. And then we're going to repost this later on in the day. Don't forget, Designer Bag Bingo. Come check me out. God bless you and have a great day. Don't forget, Coatesville's rising. And peace out. Bam. I like that part.